Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope we're all doing very, very well. Enjoying our Thursday evening, going into Friday. It's going to be midnight by the time we finish this stream. It's a late one, but nonetheless, maintaining the dailies. And to be fair, it's probably not a bad thing I've done a stream at this time because actually there's quite a lot of relevant news to speak about. Even based on what we've seen in the past hour, there's a few things that have come out. We know that Levi Colwill is injured; he's out. We're going to be speaking about his injury. We're also going to be speaking about Nicholas Jackson as well. Garnacho, I'm going to be talking about that. In fact, if you are up early, I presume most people that are on at this time, if you are listening, not in like a nasty way or anything, I presume you probably won't be up at 6:30. UK time, but if you are, feel free to tune in on Talksport because I'll be on at 6:30 speaking about Garnacho. So that'll be fun because I feel like I'm one of the few people who's actually speaking about Garnacho in a positive manner. I've been I'm a fan of Garnacho. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a £50 million player. I don't think he's worth more than 40. But I think Chelsea can have a great opportunity of signing him for a much, much, much cheaper price in the sort of £30 million range. So for that reason alone, I'm really keen, and I think it's a great investment. A lot of people say it's not possible. It's absolutely possible. How the hell do you think we got the Jadon Sancho deal done? It's called desperation, but not from us because we're not desperate, and we weren't desperate, and we've found a player who can basically tick our boxes, and we could take a player who's not wanted at a certain club and make him feel like he is wanted with us, give him a better environment. And I just think that those factors, on top of the fact that we are just a better team at this moment in time, I mean, nobody can argue against that. How does the player not perform better at Chelsea than he has at Man United? That's just the way I look at it from more of a humane perspective. But listen, big up to all of you. Appreciate everyone jumping on. We've got almost, we've got over 150 on all platforms, about 100 on X, over 60 on YouTube as well. Really good time, guys. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. If you are on YouTube, let's get straight up to 30 likes on YouTube. We're on 10 as it stands. We've got 65 of you right now. Appreciate everyone. Let's go through the chat. Big up to Dead in the Water. Big up to Mike as well. I hope you're doing well. Chelsea King, good to see you, mate. Harry, always a pleasure. Do I think we will get a centre back? To be honest with you, I haven't really had enough time to think about it. It's sort of, this news has just come about, so can't say I've actively thought about another centre back that I bring in, and I can't really say there's a player who comes in at the top of my head that I go, oh, we need to bring this guy in. So I need to think about that for a day or two, and then I can get back to you. If anything pops into my head on the stream, though, I'll let you know, and feel free to mention stuff in the comments as well, because there's no doubt there's obviously centre backs out there that are of interest. Like, I've spoken a lot about Mark Gurhey over this window. I spoke a lot about that before the Club World Cup, and I think Mark Gurhey's a really good player, and I think his qualities are going to be very useful for us. I also think that bringing in Mark Gurhey gives us the freedom to be able to sell Fofana and not have to worry about it. Not that I would be worried anyway, because he's not available when he's fit. He's never fit. So it's very difficult to justify keeping a player like that at the club when he never plays. I mean, maybe we have a conversation about Lavia. We've certainly had that conversation about James, but he's come back and done well. So look, just stay fit. And I think that's basically the number one thing for any football fan. If you're fit, then that seems to be a massive asset in this day and age when you're playing so many games of football. It is impressive how many games of football players are able to play. And I won't speak about Jackson too much yet, but I mean, that's one of the selling factors we have with Jackson is he's pretty much always available. Yes, he got a few red cards, but I'm talking about injury here. He's not particularly injury prone. That's an asset to a lot of teams. That is an asset. Total waffle that we ain't signing a centre back. Don't believe a word of it. Again, mate, like it's not my opinion. I'm just saying what I've read, and I am going to reference everything on this stream as well. So I will give my opinion after we've looked at it, but this is not my opinion, even when I put the title out there. So yeah, it's not an opinionated title or caption. Vega, no, he doesn't have a future at Chelsea. I'm doing well, mate. Very excited for the game tomorrow. It's going to be good. Back at the bridge. I wasn't there on Wednesday. I spoke to Charlie about the event on Wednesday, and Charlie basically said, "Alex, you didn't miss out. You did not miss out. It was nothing special. It was overhyped. The 3/4 of the stadium was empty. It was a fiver. It wasn't expensive to go. He was local. I'm not. So is it worth me traveling for a couple of hours to go and watch a 30-minute presentation? Probably not. And that's, me and Charlie agreed on that. But listen, if you went, I don't have anything against it, just not for me. I've already got 2 trips to the bridge this week. So I think I'm happy with that as it stands. Stop buying wingers. We need a goalkeeper and a centre back, perhaps 2 now. Vega again, no future, mate. I'm not going to entertain the Vega conversations. I just don't believe that he wants to be here. The fact that we've been so close to selling him, it just makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense to me. Chelsea needs to buy Mark Gurhier, not Garnacho, or else we will be leaking a lot of goals with Sanchez as a goalkeeper. In the name of Chelsea's transfer window so far, in the name of optimism, I respond to that and I say, if you've got the capabilities to do it, sign both. Sign them all. And bring in Simmons. You're able to raise hundreds of millions of pounds in player sales. You've got a front of shirt sponsor, we pray, 60 million as well in the bank, free money that we didn't have. We've got the Club World Cup money. We've got Champions League money. Season ticket price increases, membership increases. It's not like we're struggling to raise funds. We're doing a very good job of that. So I think we're going to be absolutely fine, even if we want to sign Mark Gurhier as well. There's still a long list of players to get rid of. The Benfica centre-back, I know exactly who you're talking about. I know who that is, yeah. This is just the beginning. Players playing so many matches. This would happen more often, unfortunately. That's the reality, mate. Bring Mark back. Definitely Mark here again. Big up to you, Jordan. Hi, there's a variety of centre-backs out there. There's just a few on offer from lower standards clubs. I mean, Dean Huijsen would have been brilliant from Bournemouth. I'm gutted we missed out on him. I mean, you're never going to beat Real Madrid, so that one. But Dean Huijsen would have been great. If you can't get Gurhier from Palace, maybe try and keep Vega at least until January. Again, mate, doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't set a good precedent. If you don't want to be here, if you don't show any loyalty to the football club, you should be shifted on. And this is also like my message to people who don't support the Garnacho move. We are going to speak about that. If it doesn't work out, you're saying don't sign all these wingers. The beauty is we have other wingers that then can come in and we can bin off Garnacho if it doesn't work. And you'll be able to resell him and not make a loss because he's so young. You can loan him out. He can gain experience elsewhere. We'll sign him on a long contract as well at an affordable wage. So really, I don't see. Just going back to your Vega point, I don't see how Vega comes back into the fold. What's done is done. He made the decision not to be at Chelsea, all right, and not to commit to Chelsea. He didn't want competition. So it just doesn't seem right to bring him back into the fold. It just doesn't seem right. It's terrible news with the Colwill having surgery with the ACL, Alex. Charlie said in his broadcast we're in serious trouble and a player to get a squad player to play in the centre-back. Guys, we did sign Hato. for this reason, exactly. It wasn't just for Cucurella. I mean, part of it was for that. But I mean, Hato is the replacement for Vega. So everyone talking about Vega, Hato not sitting here saying, what the fuck are you on about? Stop with the negativity, man. I've just been spouting positivity. What are you on about? Jesus Christ. I've just been saying how I like the Garnacho move and that I'm happy with Hato and that I like Mark Gurhey. Sign them all. Where's the negativity in that? Sometimes I feel like people in the comments don't even listen to what I'm saying, which is fine. You don't have to. But I just don't understand that comment at all. Move Badiashile, Vega and Disasi on and sign Gurhey with the money from those sales. Still have plenty of cover with Chalobah, Hato, Fofana, Tosin, Anselmino, and even James at centre back and Gusto at right back. Well, Anselmino we already know is going out on loan. I stand by the fact that we should probably still do that. It's just better for his development, if I'm honest. He won't get significant game time here. Chalobah is a great option to have. You got Toss in there as well. I feel like the two of them are going to sort of interchange as we go. So then I'm looking at Fofana or Hato. I'm looking at those two and I'm going, okay, you guys can take over the mantelpiece here. I don't know how long it's going to take Colwill to recover from this surgery. Again, I don't actually know the details of it. That's the reality. Well, Jonathan said at the ground, you're always moaning and growing. Just cheer the lads on, man. We're supposed to support the club, not always moan and talk rubbish about the manager. Do better, bro. Don't really know what to say about that. That's like saying to Tony Blair, you need to do better and run the country better, even though he's prime minister 20 years ago, 25 years ago. He's not there anymore. It's done. So that's like saying to Theresa May, do better. I mean, they're out. They're not in charge anymore. Where's the logic in this? Jonathan said at the ground, you're always moaning. The season ended months ago in the ground. What are we talking about? Moaning where? Baffles me. The logic here, Chelsea boy Chris. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. If I'm going to moan about anything, it's about silly comments like that. It's just weird. Why don't you cheer up? I'm trying to have a positive stream. Sell Jackson and Nkunku by Lukeba and Simmons. Offer Palace Tosin and 20 million for Gurhey. No, I want to keep Tosin, mate. Tosin, my centre back. Love Tosin. We got the Club World Cup money in Champions League. Go and get a centre back and new gear. Can't be stuck with Sanchez. Of Jorgensen leaves. Okay. Or Jorgensen leaves. Well, I think that he will leave. I think he'll get flipped, mate. That's what I think will happen. I actually think that when Penders has his loan at Strasbourg, I think the next player to be on loan at Strasbourg will probably end up being Jorgensen, unless Penders has a second loan. Which is also possible. We saw Santos having a second loan spell at Strasbourg. We have minus 60 million balance with UEFA that we have to balance out. And we also have the 1-for-1 with them, which means we've got to sell players that played in the Conference League to register more, which makes perfect sense why we were very happy to get rid of Dewsbury Hall. Nothing wrong when you look at it from that perspective. But you make a very good point, mate. You make a very, very good point. And we've done a lot of business, guys. Done a lot of business. We got rid of João Felix. That's the player. We got rid of Dewsbury Hall. I'm trying to think who else played. I mean, they're the main ones, to be fair. That obviously Madueke. They're the ones that played in the Conference League. Have I missed anyone else? Amugu technically played in the Conference League. So then you're looking at players like Disasi, Badiashile obviously played in the competition. You got Sterling and Nkunku definitely makes sense in that regard. I'm sure I've probably missed one or two players. Mhm. Yes, I'll be at the Crystal Palace game. I'm looking forward to it, mate. It's going to be a great atmosphere, beautiful day. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to apparently talking rubbish about Maresca and the owners before and after the games, even if we win. I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be fun. Always spouting garbage at the games, man. Well, Jonathan said I was spouting garbage, but you haven't spoken to Michael. You haven't spoken to Oliver. They all said that I was really positive. So maybe you just need to speak to more people. We need to sell a defender and buy a new one. You're ready for rules. That's fair. Again, Vega makes sense then, doesn't it? Makes perfect sense why Vega has to go. So yeah, no disagreements on that one. Okay, people, we have almost 500 of you in here as it stands. Big up to all of you. Really appreciate everyone jumping on. This is a late one, unless you're in another part of the world. It might be earlier for you, like really early, or just sort of early evening as well. We've got over 130 of you on YouTube. 42 likes as it stands. Let's get up to 75 on YouTube. Once we get up to 75 likes, I will get cracking. Get there in a minute or two, and then we can get started straight away. Anselmino will be given a chance to play for Chelsea. I mean, that goes against other reports that we've that have come out. So again, this is not my opinion. This is what I've read. This is what I've seen. This is what I've gone live on. Based on what we've seen, it looks like Anselmino will be going out on loan. And I just want to say, I think that's the right decision. I'm not actually against that. I think that's a good decision. Sometimes we just have to think about individual player development. How are the players going to improve? Are they going to improve at Chelsea or are they going to improve elsewhere? Which is also why I have nothing against the sale of Tyreek George. There's another one who played in the Conference League. So if he ends up going to a German club, I think that makes perfect sense. I think that's good for his development. I think that's probably the best thing for his career as well. He's looking at the squad. He's thinking, right, we already have players like Palmer. We have Neto. We've got Esteval who's coming in. We've got Gittins as well. I'm thinking, all right, cool. So I'm going to compete against these guys. And then he's probably seeing these rumors about not Jamie Gittins, Alejandro Garnacho. He's thinking, fuck, even more competition. Then he's hearing about Xavi Simons. I mean, it's getting harder and harder for him to see himself playing regularly. Totally understandable. I've got nothing against it. And I say fair play, crack on, and Chelsea, give the man a chance to exit the club amicably, but at the right price. And then again, what is the right price? I mean, we can certainly speak about that as well. Do I have defenders in mind? I like Murillo. I don't think that will happen. I don't see Forest as keen sellers. So again, probably have to say no to that one. But I don't have anyone in particular, although I do like Mark Gurley. He's a player I spoke about. I spoke a lot about Jonathan Tah before he went to Bayern, and Mark Gurley's another one. Jonathan Tah is an opportunistic signing. We could have got him on a free, but that didn't end up happening. So yeah, Mark Gurley's definitely up there for me. We have to register Delap, João Pedro, Gittins, Hato, Asugo, Santos, Esteval, Simons if he comes. That's fair enough. So I guess it's 1 for 1 then, right? So who have we sold then? I'm trying to think. So Madueke for Delap, João Pedro for God, who else did we sell? I just literally said the names, didn't I? João Pedro for Dewsbury Hall, and then you've got João Felix leaving, and then you've got Gittins coming in. Hato for maybe Disasi, Asugo for Amugu, Santos. Ugachukwu didn't play in the Conference League. No, he didn't. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Can we step in for okay. Yes, I know you talked about Zubani. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, mate. Really don't think that's going to happen. We've got to sell Jackson and Kunku George Vega. No, I appreciate that. So how many have we got to go? I mean, to be fair, I would absolutely sell Fofana for the right price. I'd sell that guy. Ben Chilwell. We haven't spoken about Ben Chilwell. That guy played Conference League minute. No, he didn't. No, he played in the Cup. He didn't play Conference League. Sterling definitely didn't play. The idea of getting Garnacho is really depressing. I've never had this with a Chelsea signing before. Well, that's not true. You've definitely there has to be signings out there that have looked worse to you, and the timing would have been worse. So you would have signed a player, and you would have thought, "What the hell are we signing him for?" Absolutely, you must have thought that at some point. Oh God, we got a lot of signings that we could talk about. Did you not feel a bit depressed about getting Robert Sanchez? God, there's a lot of players. Danny Drinkwater. Do you not think, fuck, what are we doing here? Come on, mate. I feel like that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Come on. Again, Bakayoko, we can say that we didn't like him when he was at Chelsea, but we didn't actually know what Bakayoko was going to be like. And then he did flop hard. What about Sensi or Brathwaite? Would you take Maguire as a last resort? I definitely wouldn't take Maguire. So that's a definite no from me there. I haven't thought enough about Senesi, to be honest with you. Saul again. I was excited when Saul came. Barkley's quite an underwhelming signing, but he was doing great for Everton at the time. So, again, have to disagree there. When there are a fair few kids that played in the Conference League, so would their spots be open for new players? Potentially. I mean, we're not going to make great profit, though, off of them because we don't even know their names. I know we had that kid who played. Oh, fuck. We got that young midfielder who played really well against that Swedish team when they filled up our stadium. And the Westview was full of them. I can't remember his name. What's wrong with Alex having his own opinion? Yes, he was the biggest Poch backer, but now he finally believes in this team. Football is a game of opinions. You can be right or wrong. But the beauty of this whole YouTube thing is, even if people disagree with me, ultimately I'm just going to keep going out there and saying my opinion. Yes, Walsh. That's it. That's the one, Reggie Walsh. And I will be right about certain things and I'll be wrong about certain things. I said this to Lewis as well when we were debating Maresca loads of times. I was like, me and Lewis actually agree on a lot of things. Me and Lewis both really like Sarri when a lot of people hate him. Me and Lewis both like Conte. I love Tuchel. I appreciated Lampard when he was here before he got sacked the first time. So, and me and Lewis were pretty much the same with Potter as well. So, yeah, I mean, you're always going to differ in some way, but we'll have to see what happens. And I totally agree with Edison here. I wouldn't say we're worse than Arsenal fans. But this whole hashtag no to Garnacho thing is it's just a bit weird. I'm not really sure why would it. It's not like we're signing. If Garnacho was a 32-year-old player, he'd flopped his whole career at United and we were signing him, fine. But he's a young player who's 21 years old. And ultimately, he's not going to get worse. He's not. He's barely played. It's hard to see what you have to compare to in terms of him getting worse, but you'd have to say his potential is going to go up. A couple of years at Chelsea, inflation, the way the market works anyway, you probably get 10, 20 million added to his value, bare minimum. So it's a smart investment more than anything. That is true. There's been more crying online than anything. So actually, that's a fair point as well. Okay, let's crack on, people. We've got almost 600 of you, 166 on YouTube, 400 on X. Big up to all of you. If you're on YouTube, let's get up to 100 likes. Come on, people. Show some support, even on this late evening. I know you might be tired. You're not that tired, though, are you? And on X as well, you can support with a like or a retweet. It all helps. Big up to all of you. Let's start off with Levi Colwill. Let's start off with Chelsea. Let's go on the Chelsea website and actually have a little bit of a dive because, to be honest with you, this isn't actually something I've read through in depth. We might as well read through it together. So here we go. Chelsea Football Club has released the following update regarding Levi Colwill. Defender Levi Colwill has today undergone successful surgery to an anterior cruciate ligament injury. The 22-year-old had reported back to Cobham for pre-season at the start of this week before unfortunately sustaining the injury in training. Medical assessments confirmed surgery would be the required course of action. Levi has now begun his. He will now begin his recovery and will be supported by the club's medical department at Cobham during his rehabilitation phase. And that is all we have as it stands. So very short, very sweet from Chelsea. Not really doing too much, and that was only 3 hours ago we found out that. So that's unfortunate, isn't it? It's never good. Although I think the news came out slightly earlier than before Chelsea actually let it out. It's really upsetting, isn't it? It's sad. It's sad when you see a player that's grown into a very, very prominent player in this squad who was heavily criticised when Pochettino was here and was still criticised at times when Maresca was here. But I would say the majority of the time, people would have always said the same thing, which is if they had to pick a starting 11, Levi Colwill gets in that starting 11 the majority of the time. And that would have been alongside Fofana, Chalobah or Tosin. But you'd always have Colwill in that area. So now that we know he's not going to be available for a number of presumably months, it does raise the question, what else can we do to put ourselves in a better position to handle this window? And I think the answer is honestly work with what we have, and I believe that's probably what Chelsea will do. And again, this is based on what we've read. We're gonna dive into this a little bit more now. I feel like it's only appropriate. Fabrizio Romano come out, and this is what he had to say. He said Chelsea have not activated any immediate emergency plan to sign a new centre-back after Levi Colwill's injury. They have full trust in the current squad, and Joral Hatto is available to play at centre-back or left-back. So, I am leaning on that tweet from Fabrizio, that update, when I'm telling you what I'm saying. It doesn't look like anything's going to happen. I mean, if you look on the contrary, Fabrizio's saying that Chelsea just trust the squad. You've got Kieran Gill, who I think is with The Guardian. Or is it Daily Mail or The Guardian? Daily Mail. He says Chelsea are now assessing whether to bring in another centre-back after the Colwill injury. Whereas, again, if you look at Fabrizio, it says that they have full trust in the current squad. And, they're insinuating that Hatto is basically going to slot in. So, if that's the case, then fine. I am certainly not in the panic brigade. I'm not in the panic brigade. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this squad, and again, we have had streams where we've spoken about it. We've looked at everything. We look at the men's team, and you have to look at these players, and ultimately say fair enough, because every position you look in, apart from the goalkeeper, which was obviously we're already aware of, you see depth. Cucurella, you've got Hato, who can play in multiple positions. Centre-backs, you've got Tossin. You've got Colwill, who's injured. You've got Hato back in there. Chalobah, Fofana, like so many options. Anselmino climbing through the ranks. Badiashile. On the right, you've got James and Gusto. In midfield, you've got... I didn't even mention Josh Achimpong, who, by the way, has also played as a centre-back for Chelsea and was pretty good when he did it. Midfield's looking stacked. The wingers, again, never enough options when you're playing the amount of games we're going to play. I mean, when you go on Chelsea's website, Mudrik's still in the squad, but I mean, I'm not sure I'll bring his name up at the moment. I don't think he's going to be featuring much this season. So it's not like we haven't prepared for injuries. We've set the squad up in a way where if a player gets injured, there's another player that can fill in. And as much as people complain about the fact that every player that we sign seems to be a Swiss Army knife and we don't care about players who can play in 3 positions, can you just give me a player who can thrive in one? The issue then is that if you need someone to fill in, then you don't have anyone who's capable of playing in that position. And that's where having a Vega, when we did have him at least, or other players, is a huge bonus. Hato is a bonus. He can play as a left back or a centre back. The only other player who really can do that is, I mean, we've seen Fofana do it. We've seen Chalobah do it. We've seen Badiashile play on the left at times, but it's shocking. It doesn't look good at all. We have seen Disasi do it in the Conference League. That won't work against better opposition. So, and to be fair, we've seen Josh Achimpong do it. And Reece James has played as sort of a centre-back, but that's not necessarily in a back 2. I'm not sure I'd count that as in a back 3. Cole says it's PR from Fab. Listen, man, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I think based on what I know. Yeah, everybody seems to think that, you know, this is my opinion when I title this, that this is what's coming out. But I'm giving my opinion based on what I'm reading right now, which is ultimately that Chelsea are probably not going to go back in the market. I mean, that's what we're insinuating here. But I mean, if we get a total U-turn, then it does make you think, hang on a second, what's going on here? You just said something totally different on Thursday. Centre-back market is not looking good. Yeah, well, I mean, in fairness, we weren't looking in that market, so it wasn't an issue until now. Italian clubs have called to be informed on Jackson's price tag, as it can be reduced from current valuation of 80 million. Jackson will leave. Fucking hell, it says he will leave. They're going to do the same thing they did with the striker and leave us absolutely fucked again. They do not learn. They just want deals and bargains. Have to disagree, mate. Have to disagree. How is anyone going to prepare? In fact, we did prepare. I mean, I've literally just said this. We signed Hato in a position where we would either cover for Cucurella or Levi Colwill. Now Colwill needs cover. Bang. You got a player in there. 37 million. Oh, I'm sorry. Chelsea aren't willing to invest in the right positions. I mean, it's just... come on, mate. Come on. We're clearly looking at the issues and trying to solve them. How can you say otherwise? Yes, we've been slow. I mean, fucking hell, I wouldn't have complained if I knew where we were going to end up. But we're here now. We're in a better position. Or at least it seems like we're in a better position. So let's take advantage of the fact that, yes, you know, we still have a little bit more time in the market and we can invest in other players. I accept that. But at the same time, they've got to sign the right ones. And do not spend another 70, 80 million on a Fofana. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a Maguire-esque deal when you're spending that much money. I'm not looking for that. I think that, you know, 2 of the deals, like if I was just to say 2 deals, bang, like great value. Delap, great value. And Hato, sensational value. They literally knocked 10 million off the price, Alex, because they were so desperate to sell, and they thought if Chelsea pull out of this, we're screwed because they have issues financially. And then with Delap, like, let's not act like Ipswich wouldn't have tried to get at least 50, 60 million for him. They absolutely would have, but they weren't able to dictate the price because of his release clause. So when we look at Levi Colwill, it's unfortunate. It's not good. It's a setback. Now, I suppose the good news is we have some time to prepare before the season's actually started, so we can integrate someone else into that position, whether that be Hatto or someone else. But we have plenty of centre backs, at least for the first month or 2 months before the end of the window. It's not like we're totally screwed. It is annoying not having a left-sided or left-footed centre back. That is annoying. That gives you a nice balance, just being able to ping the ball as opposed to turning, and I appreciate that. And you are seeing more managers, wanting that in a team. But I think we just have to appreciate that at the moment. I think we've got enough. I think we're absolutely fine. I've never been a candidate for Chelsea going to win the league this season. Even if we sign Simmons, even if we sign Garnacho, still not in that camp. I'm very much in the camp of see what happens, see where we go, and take it from there. No, Badiashile can definitely, do some forward passes. There's not that. It's just sometimes he does struggle against better opposition. But in Europe, we've seen him perform, especially in the Conference League. Good to see Father Matt. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I have a feeling Simmons could be wrapped up by this weekend and then looking for a centre-back. Throwing Hatto into this first team, I know he had experience as captain in Ajax. That's what I'm saying. So if you're looking for that character, I think Hatto gives you that. I do. I think he gives you that. But no doubt it's a difficult task. No doubt about that. Again, I repeat, look at what Liverpool are doing and stop this nonsense. We finished fourth. We didn't win the league. We needed to improve, not now start using players out of position to cover SMH. So, I mean, Hatto is a centre-back. That's what we were talking about. He is a centre-back. So, I mean, that is his position. He played a season as a centre-back for the majority for Ajax, and he played a season as a left-back for the majority. So, he's capable of doing both. Not to mention, again, Chalobah, Tosin, Fofana. We have options. We're not sitting here with two centre backs. We're not sitting here like that. It's just not. That's just not the case. But also, how can you say that we haven't improved? Like, you're insinuating that we haven't improved. We needed to improve, not now start using players out of position to cover. Did we not improve when we signed Delap and João Pedro and Esteval and Asugo as cover for Caicedo and Santos as cover for, if not a pure competitor to Enzo Fernandez? Did we not improve when we signed Jamie Gittins? Did we not improve when we signed Hatto? These are all direct improvements. So, I think it's difficult. I'm not saying exactly improvements in terms, I can't say if Gittins is better than Madueke. It's hard for me to say that. But it certainly could be in terms of value. And if we would have signed him a little bit cheaper, then I think it probably would have been an improvement. But I think we've overspent on Gittins, to be totally honest with you. Okay, let's move on from that particular issue with Levi Colwill. But yeah, big up to him. I hope he's doing okay. I hope his recovery is that's not true. He was signed to cover Cucurella at left back. Let's not do this. Yes, but he can also cover as a centre back. That's the whole point, isn't it? He can cover multiple positions. So I am doing this, and I am right. So, I mean, there's not really much else to say. He can play as a left back and a centre back. I mean, I don't understand the argument at all. It's not out of position. Look how many games Hato has played for Ajax as a centre back. He's played a very good, decent amount of games in that position. He was signed as a left-sided centre back or left back who can play in both positions, right? He can play in both positions. Nobody's disputed that he can't play as a left back. Like, that's fine. I remember I had a look at this before, and yeah, so he played the majority of this season as a left back, and then the season prior, that was centre back, but actually played a couple at centre back this season as well. Let's go to this one. I'll share my screen with you now. Right. This is not this season, the season before. Okay. The last season he played the majority of games as a left back. Centre back, left back, centre back, left back, centre back, centre back. Centre back, centre back, centre back, centre back, centre back, centre back. All centre back up until game week. What's that? Game week. Oh, let's delete that. Up until game week 8. Centre back, centre back, centre back, centre back, centre back, centre back. Up until what the fuck game week is that? It says game week 7 again. Majority of games centre back, and you got about 5 or 6 games as a left back in the league. So we can't sit here and say that he can't play as a centre back. He clearly can, and he has. I mean, that's just the reality. I think Chelsea are keeping Vega. Fair enough. Hey, listen, man, if he wants minutes and that's, you know, and Chelsea are willing to find a solution, then I haven't got a problem with it. I just don't think it's a good precedent to reward players who aren't loyal to the club. I don't think that's a good precedent to set, in my opinion. It's understood Badic was due to return to action at the beginning of September as he continues his recovery from injury. So when we look at left-sided centre-backs as well, that's also relevant. Badic is not going to be an option short-term either. There you go. And again, going to Jackson now. Chelsea signed new centre strikers. Jackson wants to feel important, so he will go. Flat out, he is gone. That's what Fabrizio's saying. I have to say that's that's quite the statement, isn't it? That is quite the statement. And he had a little bit more to say on that as well. He said there's strong interest from Newcastle. He's one of the options. There's also interest from Tottenham if Richarlison goes. Clubs from Italy and Germany. Apparently Bayern Munich are in the mix. My God. Jackson playing alongside Harry Kane, or is that competition? Or is he just playing for that? He just said he wants to be important. Why would he go to Bayern Munich? Premier League club looks most likely. I mean, Bayern Munich just seems laughable. That is very true, Josh. That is very true. And the answer to that question, I think, is that if Cucurella does need to be rotated, then Hato probably plays on the left, and then you have another centre-back coming in anyway. And by the way, nobody's saying that Hato has to start instead of Colwill. It's not my argument, although I think it makes sense logically from the perspective that he's a left-sided centre-back. I mean, that makes sense. You'd rather have a left-footed player than a right-footed player, but I mean, I've got nothing against Fofana playing alongside Chalobah or Tosin or whoever it is. And then having Hato rotating with Cucurella to help there. That's not an issue for me. I mean, you could just have Hato filling in on both sides, right? You could have Hato playing as a centre-back. You could have him playing as a left-back when Cucurella needs to rest. But then obviously you've got to look at the fitness levels that he has. So if Hato's able to maintain that, then he'll be a great asset to us. If he struggles and he gets injured, then yeah, maybe we are in trouble. Yes, we have options, but the question is, are they good enough to replace Colwill? And the answer is nobody knows. We're going to have to find out. Vega went to Juventus and proved he's capable of playing in the left centre-back slot and did well, and he was one of the better players in that squad and won the Nations League. Again, I'm not disputing his ability, guys. I'm talking more about loyalty to the club. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm also talking about the fact that we need to raise funds, and you want players that are profitable. I almost look at Vega like a youth prospect, because you're basically making money straight away. We only spent 12 mil on the guy. Sell him for double, and you've made profit, £12 million profit. Sell him for triple, which is very, very likely to happen. You make £24 million. So I don't think Chelsea are going to snub their noses at that. And I also think he's keen to leave. I don't think he feels valued at Chelsea. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Maresca's open to working with him. Good to see, Daniel. We need to get a new centre-back. Yeah, that's fair. £30 million. That's going to be a bit of a low ball. Although he only has a year left on his contract now, if I'm not wrong. So it's an argument that we can certainly have. It's a debate that's there to be had. Realistically, we can't say any of the current signings are exactly proven and are 100% upgrades yet. I mean, the way I see it is, on paper, does the squad look better than it was the season before? Yes or no? Last season, it was yes. This season, I would say yes as well, right? Let's look at a player like João Felix as an example. Let's look at him. Was he going to start ahead of Cole Palmer? Absolutely not. Never going to happen. But does he offer depth? That was definitely something we didn't necessarily have. That was something we didn't necessarily have in that position. Bearing in mind the fact that Chukwuemeka was never going to be a part of our plans, and yeah, I would have absolutely had Chukwuemeka being a part of the squad, but Maresca didn't want him, and Chelsea didn't want him for whatever reason. So I think the answer is yes. I think that having depth improves your squad. No two ways about it. Now, having too much depth is different. We've had that problem. We've been there. We've done that. But I'm not talking about increasing the size of your dressing room by 10. I'm just sitting here saying that an extra player in a certain position wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. And one injury to one player can easily open a door to another player. And to be fair, once you get into sort of December, that's when you get a lot of injuries. You can't doubt that something's going to happen. If we're playing Champions League football, we've recovered from a long season playing in America as well. I mean, that was a long trip. And you're hopefully going to compete more so in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup than we did. So, I mean, by all metrics, we're going to be playing a lot of games, a lot of football. Maybe not quite as many as we did this season because, again, we had the Club World Cup. But in a short space of time, from start to finish, we will be playing an awful lot of football. Maybe 60 games. Maybe 65. Fuck. I mean, you just don't know how many games you're going to play now. And I suppose I would include the Leverkusen game and the AC Milan game in that as well. And I will be doing a stream about that game tomorrow morning, so don't worry about that. I will be previewing that match. But yeah, I just feel like Chelsea are in a pretty good position, guys. I don't think that we need to panic. I'm not saying don't do anything, but let's not sit here and act like Chelsea haven't been proactive. We've been extremely proactive. We've solved a lot of the problems that fans have been asking to solve. People are basically just asking for the icing on the cake. And to be fair, we didn't need to sign a goalkeeper. We already had it in Petrovic. That is out the window. I do think that was the big mistake from this window, was the goalkeeper. It wasn't even about not signing Maignan. It was getting rid of Petrovic. Not saying I wouldn't have said yes to Maignan. I like Maignan, but I was happy with what we had. And yeah, I just think that in all positions we look stronger. except for the goalkeeper, as I mentioned before. Even Gusto, like, you have to look at a player like Gusto and think he has more of a future at Chelsea now because Maresca actually knows how to get him to overlap. We saw it against PSG, and I pray we can utilize Gusto. He's one of my favorite players in the squad. When played in that way, it's just brilliant to watch. More from Fabrizio as well. He says, my understanding is that between Chelsea and Nicholas Jackson, the decision is mutual to part ways. Now I can tell you he will leave Chelsea and they feel it's time to part ways. Price tag around £80 million. 80 mil. Are you mad? That's crazy. Nobody's paying 80. I think we already know that. But I mean, just the fact that we're putting that number out, we're willing to negotiate around 60, understandably so. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, it's everywhere. Telegraph, this is presumably Matt Law. That's Sam Wallace from the Telegraph. Chelsea would look at benchmarking the deals for Sesko and Buemo and Victor Gyokeres and values Jackson at more than 60 million. Jackson is now top of the list for Newcastle after Sesko went to United. They face competition from Tottenham should Richarlison leave. There is other Premier League interest as well as that from AC Milan and Juventus. Well, I think we can immediately rule out any Italian clubs. It's going to be an English side. It's going to be a Premier League team. Yeah, that is a certainty. It's not going to be Bayern. It's not going to be Juventus. It's not going to be Milan. They don't have the money. Bayern could probably spend the money. Doesn't really seem like the kind of signing they would do. So I'm going to take that one with a pinch of salt. Hello, I've not been on one of these since April. How's your summer been? It's been brilliant, mate. Well, busy. I'll just put it like that. Come on, the man has to advance his career. Can't be selfish as a Chelsea fan and only see it one way. Do your thing, Vega. So you're happy for him to go as well, presumably, a bit like me. Keep Vega and Jackson useful players. I'm all for keeping Jackson. Vega less so. And again, it's not for football reasons. It's for, you know, that for me. What I hate is I hate players that are not loyal. And it just doesn't give me a good feeling when a player leaves to go on loan after being at a club for 6 months. Doesn't give me a good feeling. You know, it's like, you know, you get into a relationship and you're with this girl for 6 months and then you break up. You don't see each other. You're having an open relationship for whatever you do. She's everywhere. She's like Bonnie Blue. And then after 6 months, she wants to come back. I don't know if I want that in my life. Don't fancy it. It's not my thing. I miss Steve as well. And we will definitely be seeing Steve. Steve is definitely coming back. Oh, I love Steve. I had a great time with him in America. Brilliant. To be honest, if we get Simmons and Garnacho, I'm not worried as we have Hato who can play as a left centre back. That's how I feel, mate. Can I see Mweka getting more minutes? God, no. Absolutely not. No chance. We have too many strikers and we need to sell Jackson. Again, someone gets injured, then you only have two. Then you want to rotate in games. And let's say Jackson goes, Delap gets injured, João Pedro's got no one to come on and make an impact off the bench. So it's not true. Like we can absolutely utilize three strikers. I don't agree with that whatsoever. It's brilliant for the manager to have that many players at his disposal. Absolutely brilliant. I was fine with Vega. Do need play time. No, listen, I'm not disputing that. But he went for the reason that he wanted to be a guaranteed starter. Don't have any problem with that. But you are not showing a willingness to fight for your place. That's not a good attitude for me. It's not. Again, you've got players out there like De Bruyne who did the same thing. That's fine. Sometimes you also, why couldn't the club just say no? But if we're not going to play him as a centre back, then he should leave. He should go. If there is a genuine future for him in that position, then that's different. But I don't think he wants to be number 2 to Colwill. I don't think he wants that. And I think that's what he will be, whether he's fit or not. Am I saying Chelsea isn't loyal to the players they send on loan because they aren't trusted? Can we stop this? No, I'm just saying that the reason that João Felix and Vega left is because they weren't what's the word? They weren't appreciated at Chelsea. They weren't appreciated. That's the truth. They were played in positions they didn't necessarily want to play, especially Vega. Felix just didn't really play. And, they were thinking about, Vega especially was thinking about the international side of things. I haven't got a problem with it. But don't come crawling back. And if Chelsea think that, Vega can be a good centre-back, then brilliant. But Maresca hasn't shown any signs that that's going to happen. Maybe this is the wake-up call for Maresca to start doing that. If it's not the case, Vega needs to leave. Hey, man, he's going to come back. He'll be fit again. I've got to commend your patience replying to these sort of comments. I've had a lot worse, in fairness. I've had a lot worse than this. I mean, I had that guy at the beginning that was just a total tosser. But apart from that, everyone's been all right. I haven't got a problem agreeing or disagreeing with people. I haven't got a problem with it. It's when people just don't have any arguments whatsoever. That's frustrating. A couple of trophies that people forget. The Sassy Badia Shield. Everyone wanted them gone when we could watch them play. Now we haven't seen them for a while. All of a sudden, they are good cover. Nobody said that the Sassy or Badia Shield was going to be the cover. Nobody said that. We literally just spoke about Hato, Fofana, Tosin and Chalobah. So nobody mentioned the Sassy or Badia Shield. How many minutes do you see Garnacho actually getting? I think he'll be a rotation player. That's the way I see it. Yeah, I think he'll rotate. But listen, you'll get an opportunity, and if you can take it, then do your thing. Honestly, do your thing. I do think it's crazy we're valuing Jackson at 80. He's not worth 80, but it's a negotiation ploy, isn't it? And then we're going to finish it off with the Ballon d'Ors. Look at this. Ice Cold Palmer. 2025 Ben's Ballon d'Ors nominees. Bellingham, Dembele, Donnarumma, Doué, Dumfries. Where the hell it is? Palmer, there you go on the right, under Lise. That is him. That is a good lineup. Is there anyone that doesn't deserve to be there? Is there anyone that doesn't deserve it? Thought that was Martinez from Man United for a second. Scott McTominay. It's a fair lineup, isn't it? It's a fair lineup. I don't think you can disagree with many of them. True. I mean, I'll be real with you guys. I'm a big, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I would have happily taken Rice. And we got Caicedo, and I was happy with Caicedo as well. But I wasn't. I wasn't against the idea of signing Rice. I think they're both quality. I think they're brilliant. I think they're basically on par with each other. I think they're fucking awesome. Trump said Chelsea's the best team in the world. If Ballon d'Or doesn't give it to Palmer, 10% tariff. Who would that be? France, right? Because the Ballon d'Or's in France. He's going to put the tariffs on France. Oh, that's funny. That's good. Alex, you're not mad at Maresca because Pochettino always got our players injured in training. Don't really understand that. Instead of wasting money on Shirley from EastEnders, get... Oh, God, these are good. These are good. Get Zabani from Bournemouth. Hey, we've got over 750 people on all platforms. Really appreciate everyone watching. If you are on YouTube, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got 81 likes. We've got over 130 of you watching. Let's get up to 100 at least. If you're an X as well, we've got God knows how many of you. I think we've got like over 600. Smash that like button or retweet. It all helps. And listen, we're going to round it out there. It's midnight here in the UK. I'm up at 6:30. So if you are, join us on TalkSport, where I basically try and sell the idea of why Garnacho is a good idea at the right price, obviously. And yeah, looking forward. I'll be live as well before the game. So big up to all of you, and we'll catch up very, very soon.